Week 8 is here. Bears versus Cowboys in Jerry's world. The good guys are 3-4 coming off a 33-14 win against the New England Patriots. And the bad guys are 5-2 after a 24-6 win over the nothing to brag about Detroit Lions. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Dick Brody, joined alongside my good friend and co-host, Tony Sapita. Fields is looking good. Dak is back starting in Dallas. I don't know if he's the right choice or not. Tony has a lot of things he wants to say about that. Our running game is number one in the NFL, and the defense is going to have a busy day overall against the tough offense minus Dak Prescott, in my opinion. Tony, before we begin, did the Cowboys make the right decision moving away from Cooper Rush?
Yeah,
I don't think so. I thought he was doing good for him.
I think they had to kind of, if he had won that last game before Dak was ready, that's a tough decision. I think then you got to ride the hot hand, but it's tough you're paying him so much money. He's the guy you've been selling, and then you come off a loss like that. You can't have two losses in a row with Cooper Rush trotting out there. Although I, in general, never would have paid a quarterback like Dak Prescott after seeing him get jumped at Panama City Beach back in college by a bunch of guys in a parking lot. I don't know. Everyone might know that video. You might not. Very famous video. He got beat up real good, and honestly, that makes him kind of soft in my opinion.
Wow. Okay. Well,
it's a very famous internet video. If you guys haven't seen it,
I have never seen that.
You know. Oh yeah.
Well, I hope the Bears beat him up, not stealing anything from him on this upcoming Sunday. But let's get into things. Bears offense versus Cowboys defense. Offensive line is the big topic of the day, considering the Cowboys defensive line is arguably the scariest in the NFL. Big injury, though. We're going to get to that in a couple minutes here. But the offensive line is going to have even more changes this upcoming weekend. As of right now, Larry Borom is on concussion protocol. He is doubtful to play. Putting that out there. So the Bears offensive line, and Lucas Patrick is out, and Cody Whitehair is another week away. We're getting all that. As of right now, the offensive line is right tackle Riley Reif, right guard Tevin Jenkins, center Sam Mustipher, left guard Michael Schofield, left tackle Braxton Jones. And would you believe me when I said most of this offensive line is leading the charge of the number one running offense in the NFL. All things considered, I think they're doing an okay job. The charts don't show it, but when you got guys that are running 181 yards on average a game, they're doing a pretty darn good job.
Yeah, all I ask from the offensive line this week is that Sam Mustipher decides to play for our team on every play.
Did you just give him a new nickname, Sam Mustipher?
I did not, but I love it. I may have just I might have messed up when I pronounce his name, but I think, hey, we'll see how he does this week. If he redeems himself, then we'll hold off. Otherwise,
everyone knows what I'm talking. Everyone knows what I'm talking about, where Sam Mustipher literally ran to the sideline after he snapped the ball and didn't block anybody. Yeah, we'll see if he redeems himself against a tough Dallas defensive front, Tony.
The only thing I could think of, some people were saying, oh, he was still in his guard reads, which I don't know, man. That was
dude. When your back is to the defensive,
it's one thing if you take a step to the right or a step to the left. But yeah, running down the sideline. I just hope he wasn't concussed. That was truly the first thing I thought was he might not know where he is.
Nice guy, Tony, coming in with I hope he wasn't concussed. Let's go to the Bears offensive ranks, though, as a whole. We talked about how the rushing is now number one in the NFL, led by David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert, and Justin Fields, obviously running for. Justin Fields is looking great when he runs the ball. He makes good decisions. But total, we are the 28th offense still. I'll take it. Better than 32. Last game, they almost had 400 yards again. They had 390 yards last game, according to Tony. Pure dominance. But the passing, though, was 32nd.
Yes, and we are up to 126.3 passing yards per game, which is
bad.
Better though.
We're breaking 100.
Optimistic, right?
Hey, I think Justin Fields is getting better every game. If you guys don't see that, then I think something's wrong. I think Justin Fields, with what he has to work with, he's doing a fine job. And this offense is getting better. They put up 33 points against the New England Patriots, which, Bill Belichick is arguably one of the best coaches, even though he cheats all the time. Yep, Deflategate. Yep. Justin Jones was checking the footballs, by the way. Yes, I think the offense is improving, but they do have the biggest challenge of the season so far from a defensive side of the ball. Cowboys defense ranked 6th overall, best defense we faced so far. They average only giving up 305 yards a game, 305.8 yards per game if we want to get actually tactical. They're passing, so there's a 6th ranked defense in the NFL, best defense. Their passing defense is ranked 4th, 1 ranking behind the Chicago Bears, thumbs up there. And their rushing is not that good, though. That's a good plus for us. 20th ranked rush defense in the NFL. But we are also going against the number 1 sack defense in the NFL with 29 sacks in a already beat up offensive line. I don't know, Tony. I'm not scared about it, but I'm scared about it.
So you alluded to this kind of at the start here. The big difference maker will be, it sounds like Micah Parsons will play because he did practice. He was limited, but he did, it wasn't a full on out kind of situation. Now the question will be, will he be 100%? How, because if he will wreck the game if he's 40%. He still will do well in his specific role. However, he won't have the effect where he affects the entire offense. We have to completely avoid him. He's getting pressure on the quarterback, which makes the corners and safeties look good, whatever it may be. So that, I think, will be the big determining factor. And I think we're just going to have to scheme to avoid him either way until we kind of figure out what level he's playing at in this game. That's the only thing that makes sense to me here.
I mean, playing hurt obviously is a super big plus for us, not a plus for him. Hope he's okay. But also that is a plus though, because when you're playing hurt, you're not playing 100%. This gives the opportunity for the Bears to potentially game plan around him, and double teaming him will be easier. I mean, still the Dallas defensive line is just absolutely insane. So definitely something that the Bears are going to be scared of. But I think this offense, considering they're a weak overall rush defense, number 1 rush offense, that's a pretty good combo for me. I'll take it. I got Khalil Herbert just absolutely ripping it up against these guys. David Montgomery being I have a feeling that David Montgomery is going to play more of the pass blocking role.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, especially with, again, Micah Parsons out there. You got to have all the extra help you can get. Khalil Herbert looked amazing last week. That was just, I mean, he didn't play a ton, I guess. Oh no, I think he did. Well, either way, that one pass play, obviously, where he was just able to just cut it up the field right after Justin Fields nearly died with the most beautiful DeMar DeRozan pump fake I've ever seen. And he just has to keep being that explosive playmaker. And I think that adds such a great dynamic to our offense. So we're probably going to be doing a lot of screen passes, I would imagine, with over Micah Parsons' head. Hopefully to kind of keep him out of
I hope that's true, because let's go over to the Cowboys offense versus the Bears defense. Starting things off, obviously we'll talk about the good guys. Bears defense, in my opinion, had their best game of the year against the Patriots last week. They only allowed 14 points all in the second quarter. A new quarterback comes in. Bears had to quickly adjust. They couldn't do that right away. But all they gave up was 14 points in the second quarter. Otherwise, the Bears did not give up any points to the New England offense. They only allowed 260 yards total offense against the Patriots. Also, they only allowed 70 rushing yards. Bears are also ranked the best second half defense in football. They have only given up an average of 5 points per game in the second half this season. On top of that, they've also held quarterbacks to the lowest passer QBR rating in second half of the game this season at 51.6. Say all you want about Allen Williams and that rush defense, but man, do they make adjustments in the second half. I love it.
Yeah, I think up to, what was it, that Giants game? We hadn't allowed a touchdown, or it might have been points over. I think we had allowed some field goals, but we hadn't allowed a touchdown in the second half. That's why I predicted a shutout of the Giants, which obviously didn't happen. But it's still, they obviously, had a little trouble with the Giants, and the Commanders scored late. But that, what they did against the Patriots was incredible. And I know they have their own issues going on, but it was still just bully ball. They just did what they wanted, and they got after it with such passion. It was beautiful to see.
And speaking of bully ball, so let's go into the Bears defensive ranks real quick before I go in a little bit into Roquan Smith. And obviously the elephant in the room, Robert Quinn getting traded. Bears defensive ranks. Bears have the 12th ranked overall defense, 4 higher than last week entering the Patriots game. They have the 3rd best pass defense in the NFL and the 29th ranked rush defense. Cowboys offensive rankings. They are the 29th ranked offense in the NFL. Not too much better than the Chicago Bears. Passing, they are ranked 27th. I don't know. That's not good. You're paying a guy a lot of money like Dak Prescott, and you only have the 27. Even though he hasn't played, I get it.
I
But
will say,
still,
yeah, that may be some Cooper Rush stats, who still did well, which is,
who
you know,
still did
so
well. He's 4-1 as their or 4-2 as their starter. I'm just saying. I know what you were saying, Tony. Cooper Rush is not a. He was hot. I mean, they were. Well, they had a whole ESPN special about him, which I thought was insane. Because imagine if the Chicago Bears had a good backup like that, and they would be like, who? So, and then they have the 14th ranked rushing offense. So, going with that, it sounds like the Cowboys are going to be going with their run a lot, even though Zeke Elliott is questionable with a knee sprain. Roquan Smith is the number one tackler in the NFL, and we're going to need him big time against a pretty tough Dallas running room.
Yeah, so Roquan's in an interesting spot where he's either going to have the game of his life or he may be a little distracted. So you mentioned it, obviously, the Robert Quinn news. He was very upset. We all saw that. I'm sure if you couldn't go on Twitter without seeing it, if you're a Twitter user, he was very emotional about it. So he, hopefully, in my hopes and dreams, he will kind of see it as an opportunity to grow as a leader. This is kind of one of the, I'm sure Robert Quinn was kind of like, hey, man, you know, it was already your team, but now it is really your team kind of thing. You got to be the guy, you know, dad's leaving. You got to be the man of the house kind of thing, which, yeah, not to make light of it. He did seem very upset, but
You
I
saw
think
his eyes literally fill with tears.
I felt so bad. And
I
truly hope he understands it, you know, unfortunately just business, which I didn't realize truly how much everyone loved Robert Quinn. Look, I knew it. They gave him the Jeff Dickerson Award, which is a beautiful thing for the journalists to do and stuff. But I didn't realize it was truly to move Roquan Smith to tears. So I think he's going to have a great game, kind of playing for Robert Quinn.
He'll play for Roquan and or for Quinn, but also the Bears do play the Eagles this year, so that's going to be a challenge in itself. We're going to hit on that in a little bit. Thanks to all the Eagles fans that tuned in for the live stream yesterday when the news broke. It's great meeting you guys. But overall, I think that the Bears are definitely going to have their hands full in regards to the rushing game. Passing, just do what you did against New England, and you're going to be just fine. You know, if the Bears can also stop, I mean, this could be a ball game. I really think that this could be about, you know, Michael Parsons is potentially out or not playing 100%. Zeke Elliott is also hasn't practiced at all this week. But also the Bears do always play well against Cowboys.
Yeah, they absolutely do. I don't know what the reasoning is. I don't know if they love going down to Dallas. They just think it's a beautiful stadium compared to the current construction of Soldier Field, whatever it may be. I do think the defense will ride the high of that Monday night just beat down and put on another show for the boys. I know, again, we're obviously we don't have Robert Quinn going into this, but I think the boys are going to step up.
He wasn't effective. It wasn't his type of defense to make him effective. I'll just say it. He had 6 tackles for us this year, man. Like, he wasn't doing anything big. He was a big name on the other side of the ball. I'm sorry. Like, if anyone's upset about that, like, I am full-blown happy about this Robert Quinn deal, considering the Eagles took on all the cap next year. Like,
yeah, it was absolutely the necessary trade for sure. And I think what we'll see, too, is although obviously Robert Quinn didn't fill the stat sheet necessarily this year, was it one of those like Khalil Max had it in the past when he was on the Bears? It was, yeah, he wasn't very active in the game, but that's because they were, you know, double teaming him. They were scheming away, which opened up other guys. So we might see, oh man, maybe we kind of did miss an elite pass rusher there, or how obviously compared to, you know, how he was last year. That
I'm excited for Dominique Robinson, man.
I'm
excited
too. I think he's been awesome. He's been absolutely a high motor guy. Obviously a young guy, so hasn't, you know, he's still has his flaws for sure, but he has been, he stepped up when they needed him to, it seems. And obviously we're going to be watching him a lot more now. So
speaking of stepping up, let's go into the injury report. Tony, I'm just going to fly through this thing real quick. Larry Borum with a concussion is questionable. Lucas Patrick was placed on a 4-week IR. Armand Watts was out today with personal reasons. I think that he'll be back for the game. And Byron Pringle is questionable for this upcoming Sunday's game because he is off of IR now. I highly doubt that he'll play due to the fact that he was out most of the time. And also we have N'Keal Harry, so not too worried about that. Let's go to the Cowboys real quick. Michael Parsons' shoulder was limited at practice all week. Ezekiel Elliott has not practiced at all this week. Malik Hooker, hamstring, it did not practice this week as well. That's a big plus, in my opinion, from a safety standpoint. And Noah Brown, wide receiver, did not practice this week. You know, Tony, I know we're getting low on time here, so we're just going to scoot over to the 3 keys of the game for us. Tony, give the folks your 3 keys to the game.
Let Fields cook. Let him keep cooking. That was the perfect game plan that we called against the Patriots. I like that they just were like, yeah, we just stole all those plays from the Ravens. Love it. Keep doing it. Absolutely fine with it. Build on that last game. It's what we wanted to see. Also his passing as well. It was all efficient. It was wonderful and it was efficient. That's what we needed to do. Everything counted. Keep stuffing the run. That's my second key to the game. Our run defense was awesome last week, which was a shock from the first how many weeks before that. We got to test. Even Tony Pollard, even if it's Tony Pollard that plays most of the game, he's no slouch back there. And then my final key is keep up the good work on special teams. I know obviously the Velus Jones Jr. debacles were interesting. So we got Cairo Santos. I'm going to knock on a little wood here. Keep it up. That's all I'm going to say. Don't want to say too much to jinx him. Trenton Gill. It'd be funny if you bounced one off that giant scoreboard. Yeah.
Hey, I'm about it. I could see it happening. 3 keys to the game for me is continue to make those second half adjustments on both sides of the ball. Bears have the second best half defense in the NFL. I'll say it till the day I die. I love it. Bears offense also continue to beat up on the Patriots through the adjustments that they made in the second half, even though Bill Belichick obviously came out swinging, trying to figure out how to beat the Bears on Monday Night Football. Just got to do that. Run the damn ball. I will say it over and over again as well. Number 1 rushing offense versus number 20 rush defense. What more do you want? Play to your strengths and involve Cole Kmet. I want to see this guy start turning it up. I really think he can. When they do give him the ball, he gets a pretty good chunk of yards. He makes things happen. His blocking's improved. But again, he's not guaranteed himself another contract coming up here. So I want to see Cole Kmet more involved. Score predictions real quick. Tony, let's hear it. What's your score prediction?
Bears are hot right now, and I'm hot for the Bears, baby. Bears 27, Cowboys 20. I think that Monday night game, well, I guess we'll see, but I think it could be a breakout game for this team. Really just letting everyone know, hey, we're hungry, we're young, and we're hungry. But they're done being doubted. I think they are just truly done just being dumped on by our own media, by the national media, whoever it is. They're going to make another statement here. That would be a second good game in a row.
Yes, sorry, I did not throw score predictions up there, by the way, but yes, I like that one because I said the Bears were losing last week, and I'm saying it again this week. Cowboys 30, Bears 21. I said this last week. Now take these words with a grain of salt if you want. I don't care. I would rather be shocked that they won than be upset if I said they would win and they lose and they lost. Okay, I'll say that again. I'd rather be shocked that they won than be upset if I said they were going to win and then they ended up losing. Just saying, because look at the hype everyone had after that Bears game, because no one saw it coming. Was a good feeling. Got to put it out there.
Yeah, I'm going to keep picking the Bears to win. It's who I am. I'm going to pick them every single week, so just be prepared for that.
If the Bears win again this week, which I'm not saying they are, but if the Bears do win this week, again, it's a good strategy, Cotton. Going to keep up with it.
I can't wait to pick them against the Eagles. Oh my gosh, people are going to be furious at me.
All right. Well, with that, thank you very much for joining this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Brody, joined alongside my good friend and co-host Tony Sapita, and we'll see you guys next.